Hi, I'm Nick Spake, and welcome to Cartoon Contender, where we talk about animation, awards, and everything in between. My guest today is Oliver Clert, the director of the new animated feature Lucy Lost, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival and is playing as part of the official competition at Annecy. All right, so today we're here to talk about Lucy Lost, and initially the film was considered as a potential TV series. Were you involved in that production, and if so, how did it differ from the feature that ultimately got made?
So I wasn't involved at the beginning. I think the producer bought the rights of the book maybe 4 years before I arrived, and they tried to adapt it as a TV series for a long time. I guess because there was all the streaming, going on. So it was a very dynamic at the time. So they kind of struggled to adapt the story. So they they decided to make a feature, and that's when I arrived and when I became involved.
And from what I understand, you were originally brought on as a storyboard artist before becoming the film's director. How did that promotion come about?
Uh, Actually, it's a little bit like this. In fact, so I was moving back from the US. I was working for Netflix, and I was like connecting with all my old mates from animation to see what kind of project was going on in Paris. And one of my friends showed me the visuals of Lucy Lost, and I was very interested to work on it. But when I get in touch with them, I thought it would be to do the storyboard. But we had a long talk, and as I told you, they were like really struggling adapting the story. I think the book was very has a lot of traps and some real difficulties to adapt. So they were struggling, and in fact, I mean, they heard about my experiences into storytelling. I was a head of story for several projects, so they kind of gave me the project and say, okay, see what you can do with this. And so I didn't start it as a storyboard artist, but they just at the moment really it was when I arrived, the project was really low in the pile. There was like all the piles of the project that they wanted to do, and they kind of Lucilot was kind of like the forgotten project because they couldn't find a way to make it happen. So they let me play with it actually, and I arrived with several versions of the story, and they liked one of them. So they asked me to direct it and to follow all the movie.
Cool. And the film is based on Michael Morpurgo's book Listen to the Moon, although, like you said,
Mm,
it makes several changes from the source material. What was the biggest
mm.
what was the biggest challenge in adapting this material?
I mean, in the book, there's so the character is not. I mean, all the story is told about from the author's point of view, never Lucy's point of view. So they're all like trying to guess what's happened to Lucy, and they. So the story really told by adults and by all the people around Lucy, but never from Lucy's point of view. So my first challenge was because I wanted to make the story about Lucy and wanted to tell the stories from Lucy's mind, and the second challenge was like the book follows like two storylines that never crossed. A story about a little girl in America and a story about this Lucy on the Scilly Islands, and they never met actually. So there is some back and forth while you read the book, but that's something that is very hard to do in a movie because you have to give up all the characters that you from one moment to spend a time with some characters and then give up to them to so that's something that is very difficult to make work. So the other challenge was to find a way to combine the story and to avoid the back and forth between the two storyline.
Mhm. And you mentioned that it went through a few different drafts before you settled on the one that the studio liked. Were there any particular ideas that you really liked that ultimately didn't make it into the final movie?
Um, yes, yes. I mean, it's always like this, you know. You when I wanted to, so when I started to write on the to work on the story, I wrote actually several versions of the story. Every time I start to write thing like a version of the story, and then I put it on the side and I write something else, but I start from scratch, you know. And every time I try to think. The story differently. I try to think, okay, what will happen if I would tell the story from another point of view? If I would start a story from another moment? If I would, so every time I try to change something in the story. So I wrote like maybe 10 version of the story, and I choose like four, uh, and um, and actually, I mean, we all liked the one that we took, and I tried to take some stuff that I liked in the other version that were not taken. But there was a version where I used a lot because I read a lot about the Silly Islands and all the legends, and so there was a version of the story that used a lot more all the Silly Islands folklore, you know, and all the legends and all the mythology around those islands. So maybe that's the one that, I mean, even if I try to take some stuff from this version to put it in the movie, but that's some stuff that I had to give up, you know.
And the film's aesthetic reminded me a lot of a Studio Ghibli production, although Lucy Lost plays with various different animation styles. Was there a particular inspiration behind the film's aesthetic?
Um, when I started to work on the movie, there was already like several arts research, especially from one artist, Jad Ku, who started to do like some illustration. She's really, I mean, she does a lot of comic books illustration. And she has already a style like very inspired by Japanese style and Ghibli studio. So we try to keep that style. Actually, the I also worked a lot on a US production. So I guess there is like a also something that I wanted to be like more not cartoony, but more flexible with the faces and the emotions. I mean, I wanted to find a rate between the something like very charming and because I wanted also some comedy and stuff, so something very charming, flexible, and some also animation that would translate the reality style. So I guess it's a mix of all those inspiration that went in the movie, you know.
And although this is your feature directorial debut, you aren't new to animation at all. Your past credits include work on Klaus, The Little Prince, and Little Amelie, or the character of Rain. How did your work on those films prepare you to make Lucy Lost?
Um, when I was, I mean, one of the most important experience that I had was with Sergio Pablo, especially on Klaus, because I worked a lot for him, and I worked at the very beginning of the story. You know, when I arrived. at the Sergio studio, they he was just telling me some stuff like I want to tell a story about Santa Claus and how Santa Claus became Santa Claus, you know, and then we had to build everything from that premise, you know. We have to invent what could happen and what would be the story that we could tell about this, you know. So it was very creative, and we worked a lot. I mean, we developed many other projects. I mean, it happened that Klaus was the first to be bought by Netflix. But in parallel of Klaus, we were working on several projects, and that was amazingly creative because I was like spending my day trying to build stories and think, okay, what could happen, and uh, and uh, and just letting my imagination go. So I think that was one of the most important experience, professional experience, because it allowed me to be the most creative that I can, you know.
Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of Klaus in your film. And
Mm.
Lucy Lost is set against a Great War backdrop, although it mirrors many themes that modern audiences can relate to, such as prejudice, trauma, and the simple search for an identity. What do you hope that viewers, young and old, take away from the experience, above all else?
Um, I would like them to. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that are we can all relate. I mean, all the from Lucy's experience. I mean, the desire to belong, to find a group, to be accepted, and of course all the the reality of the world and the war and the fear of the strangers, and all those stuff are very, actually they are more and more present in the world as we were making the movie, you know. I really felt like it became more and more relevant because the world changed so much in 4 years, you know. But what I would like people to get from the movie, like first, it was I guess some kind of hope that we can all overcome difficulties and overcome trauma, and that we can always find a way to live and to be happy and to be loved, and so that's would be the main thing, I guess. I would like people to take from the movie.
And friendship is another key theme of the film. Between Lucy and Millie, you capture two very distinct voices, one that's very introverted and the other that's outgoing. Did you draw from any real world experience from any kids you maybe knew growing up or knew now while writing them?
I guess what it's like a kind of part of the same voice, and I think Lucy's this broken side of childhood, and the vulnerability and the fragility, and Millie is kind of the dreamed friend, you know, someone that is pushing you, someone that is full of which with joyful and full of fantasy, and someone that then yeah, help you to overcome stuff. So I guess it's like the kid that you would love to the kind of friend that you would love to find, and Lucy is more like this inner voice that is a bit fragile and shy and vulnerable, and who try to find like the a right place, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And Lucy Lost made its premiere at the Cannes Film Festival this year, which is becoming a major destination for animation. It always had a presence there, animation, but in recent years it's just exploded. Can you take me through
Mm.
the experience of having it premiere at Cannes?
I mean, that was amazing. Actually, I went to Cannes the first time with my graduation movie from Gobelin. You know, it was selected by the Ciné Fondation. So I was in Cannes 20 years ago. You know, when I graduated, and it was already amazing. And when I at that moment, I thought that I would never come back because you know, I was doing animation and there was no animation in Cannes. But the situation had changed a lot, and this year that was an amazing movie that have been selected, and it was I guess it's very important because it just make people talk about the movie and made people wants to share it. So it's some kind of exposure that maybe we would not have, you know, and that's uh, it seems like a big step because it's feels like we treat those movies like their movies and their cinema and not just animation for kids, you know. So there's something like we're all making movie and we're all telling stories, and that's part of the same family, you know.
And Lucy Lost is headed to Annecy next, where we'll be playing in competition. Is this going to be your first time at Annecy, or have you been before?
I've been in Nancy several times. I've never been in contest. I never presented, obviously, a movie like this. So that will be a first time in many ways. But I know Annecy. It's an amazing place for animation. It's an amazing place to share animation. The audience is amazing. They're enthusiastic and they love everything about animation. They're curious and they want to see everything. So it's I guess it's a different atmosphere than Cannes, but it's I mean I can't wait to be there because I know it's an amazing audience and it's amazing atmosphere for everyone who love animation.
Lucy learns a lot about herself throughout the film. Did you learn anything about yourself while making it?
Oh yeah. uh, yeah, of course. I used to work a lot, you know, as a storyboard artist. So I was most of the time alone in my office, doing my little drawings and just sending them to the studios. So this time it's the first time I had to follow all the production and at I mean at the end it's more than 500 people. So you know, so you have so that was a big challenge to be able to lead those people in a way, you know, and to be able to make them to share a vision with all those people and to make them believe in this vision. So that was one of the most challenging thing. And first I didn't. I mean, I never thought I would be able to do something like this. You know, it's a that seems really huge and a lot for me who just used to make drawings in his small room, you know. So that was a big challenge, but I guess it helped me to go to the others and try to understand them and try to understand what where the difficulty if there's some difficulty that we are crossing, you know, trying to help them, and so I guess it's just a way to open more to people, you know.
And I got just one last question for you. Now that Lucy Lost is finished, do you have anything else on the horizon that you're working on now?
I mean, I have some ideas, some stuff, but actually, right now, I just I mean, I gave a lot to the movie, and it's I mean, it's so. I mean, there was a. It's since it's done, there is a Cannes and there is Annecy and there is so a lot is happening. I know at one point I will have to sit in my room and start to write, and I have some ideas, and I write. And there is some stuff that I want to explore, but Right now, nothing, very concrete. Yeah.
All right, well, this has been fantastic, Oliver. Thank you so much, and
Thanks to you.
congratulations on such a wonderful film. I can't wait for the rest of the world to see it.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and for more updates on animation, awards, and everything in between, check out my site, cartooncontender.com. Also, check out my books, Bright and Shiny, A History of Animation at Award Shows, Volumes 1 through 3 available now wherever books and ebooks are sold.